That's always good. Oh, oh! All right, we still get there though, right? They do get the kill on us, but we're smashing so big and so heavy. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we are playing the Great Green, which is of course the Great Henge based archetype. Lots of creatures in this, and we have no trouble holding the top 200 Mythic rank. We're winning games consistently, a very good win rate here. So if you're looking for a deck to reach Mythic this season, I really must recommend this Great Green, the Great Henge build. So, we're gonna go through the whole deck. If you don't know what the Henge is, don't worry, we'll break it down. We're gonna talk about not only that, but the strategies, the synergies, everything you need to know, to get up and running to play this deck effectively and efficiently within the Magic the Gathering Arena ranked queues, and hopefully we'll see you in Mythic soon, right? So if you don't mind, please like the video. That's a great way to help me grow the channel, increasing my exposure, those impressions, right? And of course, just word of mouth is absolutely amazing as well. If everybody shared a friend, we would be doubling all the time. So, tell your other Magic the Gathering Arena communities about my amazing channel. We've got gem giveaways, free tournaments. There's a bunch going on here. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the Great Green now before we ramble on too long to lose your attention. We're starting out with one of my favorite green cards in Zendikar Rising. This might be the second best green card that was added to the game within Zendikar Rising. The first and the best green card, in my opinion, that was added, we're also using, and that's Kazandu's Mammoth. We're gonna get into why that's the greatest green card right now, but in a bit, but right now, we're gonna talk about why the Swarm Shambler is really good. This is a 1-drop. Right now, green doesn't have a lot of 1-drops. You can play the Gilded Goose or, some other chump thing, but it doesn't really have the impact that something like Pelt Collector used to have, where, it came in as a 1/1 and they got stronger and stronger and stronger all the time. So, the Swarm Shambler isn't the Pelt Collector. Don't get me wrong. That's why a lot of people don't like it. But, it's a 0/0 and enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. So, the +1/+1 counters can be utilized, which is really, really cool. So whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes a target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. This is really good. The creation of the token, which is green, we will utilize, and I'll break down that in a little bit for you guys. But, we're also using mutates within the deck as well via Gemrazer. So, we lost the Paradise Druid for mutate decks, and now, we're not really playing strictly mutate deck now, but the Swarm Shambler is very good in any green deck, in my opinion, even the mutate decks, because, you have the Shambler out, they remove it, well, now I've got nothing to mutate onto. Not today, because it makes the 1/1 insect, which is non-human. You can still mutate onto that, so that's really good about the Swarm Shambler. And then, of course, creating those insects is really going to help you as well. We can also pay 1 to tap it to put an additional +1/+1 counter on it. This is cool because, on your opponent's attack phase, you can declare it as a blocker and then tap it to put that +1/+1 counter on it. So maybe you can trick your opponent with some instant speed shenanigans there if they're not too keen of the Swarm Shambler yet. And it appears to me that a lot of people aren't, right? They're not sure how to interact with the Swarm Shambler. So this is a really cool deck to catch people off guard because they've not, played against these cards yet. We have a single copy of Stonecoil Serpent. I wish I could have 4 copies in the deck, but I just can't fit them in there. A 0/0 with reach and trample, protection from multicolored, enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. This is absolutely amazing, but I find that it's somewhat helpful to balance the deck with removal instead of just creatures because, we can get into some control variants where that's great, but we can also get into, other creature decks, and, then we're just getting into this big wall effect where it's like who can, amass that arms race the quickest and find their trample or something. So, we've got a lot of removal, so it never is going to get there, right? We can always take care of our opponent's high priority threats. And one such piece of removal is our Primal Might. It is a sorcery speed, so casting it only on your turn, target creature you control gets +X until end of turn. Then it fights up to 1 creature you don't control. So, this is a fight effect for 1, and then any mana you sink into it above and beyond 1 will be transmuted into a +1/+1 for that creature. So that's absolutely amazing. It's a great way to remove your opponent's creatures and put in even more damage into the henhouse, so to say. 4 copies of Wildborn Preserver. You know, this is a card that's seen a ton of play, but it fell off and people have not been using it. But I think we're going to see a resurgence of the Wildborn Preserver here. A 2/2 with Flash and Reach. The Flash is absolutely amazing. How many times does an aggro deck want to hit home? And, you know, you can just put a 2/2 out. Fervent Champion is a great example of this. Something that wants to come out and attack, and you could just, you know, Flash block and destroy it. So that's really cool. It also has Reach, so we're taking out things with flying. Rogues are everywhere, so the Wildborn Preserver's really good there. And what's best of all here is whenever another non-human creature enters the battlefield under our control, we may pay X, and when we do, we're going to put X +1/+1 counters on the Wildborn Preserver. So the Wildborn Preserver is non-human. We can flash that in on top of itself to even increase the strength of the first to grab the rogues out of the air on their attack phase. That's really, really good. Right, and then, you know, it's just becoming a big body. The +1s synergize with the Swarm Shambler, so if something targets it, it'll make an insect, which is good. 4 copies of the Tangled Florahedron or the Tangled Veil. Veil comes in tapped, adds a green to your pool, and the 1/1 Elemental Florahedron can tap to add 1 green to your pool. So, you know, typically if you don't have your land right out of the gate, you'll play this tapped, so you're not hindered on your turn 3 or turn 4. But if you have land, play it as the mana dummy, and then on your second turn, it's like you're playing 3 mana, because on your 4th turn, or your 3rd turn, sorry, you'll have 4 mana, because, you know, you're playing your 3rd land and you have the Florahedron in play. Summoning Sickness is gone, so you can tap it. So, you know, just try to ramp as hard as you can while you're playing the deck. We also have 4 copies of Khalni Ambush and Khalni Territory, pardon my pronunciation. A similar card, MDFC, coming in tapped, adding a green to our pool, but at instant speed for 3, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So, you know, just more removal like we talked about, balancing our creatures and our removal spells. And this is really good because, again, it can be played early game for the land or later on for that removal. So such huge utility with some of these MDFC cards. Of course, Lovestruck Beast is, you know, a signature card within many mono green decks, and any Henge deck needs to have the Lovestruck Beast. This is because it's a 3-drop, it's a 5/5, and then we're going to talk about the importance of that in a little bit. But for now, you know, it can't attack unless you control the 1/1. It can create a 1/1 with Heart's Desire for 1, so that's really, really cool. And then, of course, you know, what a great body to use your Ambush on, your Primal Might on, just to basically remove any creatures that your opponent has. And now, finally, I mentioned why Kazandu Mammoth, in my opinion, is the best green card in Zendikar Rising. This may be an unpopular opinion, but it's a 3/3 with landfall that pushes it to a 5/5 on turn 4, right? So similar to the Lovestruck Beast being a 5/5 for 3, the Kazandu Mammoth also needs to be translated in this deck as a 5/5 for 3, because on our 4th turn, once the Mammoth's in play, we push it to 5. That reduces the Henge in the same capacity that the Lovestruck Beast would, allowing us to play it for 4 on our turn 4, which is, you know, the whole idea of this game. We've got 3 copies of Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig. Now, this is a sleeper. It's like people forgot about Yorvo. They don't know how to interact with it. This is absolutely my favorite card right now in this deck. Combined with the Swarm Shambler ability, you're going to trick people and you're going to have them scooping left and right. So Yorvo is a 0/0. It enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it, so it's a 4/4. Whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Yorvo. If that creature's power is greater than Yorvo's power, put an additional +1/+1 counter on Yorvo. So that's pretty cool. If you ever play anything bigger, it'll get 2, but, you know, not in this deck. Yorvo is truly the big daddy here. And Swarm Shambler, right? So your opponent's gonna be like, I gotta remove Yorvo. It's a 4/4. I'm gonna use 2 stomps, or I'm gonna use a Scorching Dragonfire and a stomp, right? But when they do so, it's got tokens on it, triggers the Shambler, the insect enters, triggers Yorvo, his toughness increases, so they have to use another spell, which triggers it again. So if they are planning on using 2, they now have to use 3, and if they didn't have that 3rd in their hand, Yorvo's surviving, and they just burnt out their hand on nothing. That is absolutely incredible, and becoming one of my favorite plays right now, because people are gonna remove Yorvo. It's like, I can't have that guy in play. Anyways, moving on. 2 copies of the Questing Beast, 4/4, Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste, can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. That's becoming more relevant every single day. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target Planeswalker that they control as well. The other day, I had a 9's life dropped on me. Questing Beast not only gets the damage through because it can't be prevented, but it also puts the counters on 9 lives, which is really, really cool. 2 copies of the Gemrazer or Angerus Armored Killer if you have the alternative art. This is a 4/4 reach, trample, mutate for 3. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. This is absolutely amazing because we've got creatures like the Serpent, like the Preserver, you know, even the Mammoth, or specifically Yorvo is the best one here, to, you know, allow our creatures to be mutated onto, and then the +1/+1s will transfer to the top creature. So, you know, for example, Yorvo's a 4/4, you put the Gemrazer on it, the Gemrazer is a 4/4, and now it gains those 4+1 counters. So it's an 8/8 reach, trample, and you got to destroy an artifact, which is so good, right? And then, of course, we have 1 copy of Vivien, Monsters Advocate. Doesn't fit amazing in the deck because, of course, we want to be playing creatures on the hand, but if we're top decking, we can really get going just from playing from our library here. So late game, Vivien wins games. A 3 loyalty Planeswalker, looking at the top card of our library at any time and playing creatures from the top of our library. +1, create a 3/3 green beast creature token with either reach, trample, or vigilance on it. You go for reach 100% of the time, defensively. And then, you know, if you are in a 100% commanding position, you're not worried about anything, you know, go with vigilance. And then, you know, if you're greedy guts, go with trample. Moving on, -2. Now this is the key component here. You may cast your next creature spell, when you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost and then put it into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Shuffling your library is great because you're playing off the top of your library with Vivien. So if you have a land there, you can use your minus ability to get the land off the top, and now there might be another creature there you can play. Note on that. Plus, you know, we've got a lot of low drops in the deck. You know, if you're dropping a Questing Beast or a Gemrazer, you pull Yorvo, typically. If you're dropping anything else, you pull a Swarm Shambler. And this is just gonna really make the match a lot harder for them to win. Finally, almost, I should say, is the Great Henge for 9. This is one of the only cards that Ugin cannot minus on, which makes it very, 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 very powerful in the current meta. It does also cost X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures that we control. So we talked about the Mammoth, we talked about the Lovestruck Beast, reducing the cost of the Great Henge. This is our primary objective while playing this deck. And then, of course, we can tap it to add 2 green to our pool, also gaining 2 life. And most importantly, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. The draw engine is amazing. The +1/+1 counters synergize with Swarm Shambler. You know, enough said, right? Of course, 2 copies of the Turntimber Symbiosis for 7, looking at the top 7 cards of our library, grabbing something with converted mana cost 3 or less. Well, any creature, I guess. And if the converted mana cost is 3 or less, then you'll get 3 additional +1/+1 counters on it. So again, you know, pulling Yorvo, that's going to come out as a 7/7. Pulling a Swarm Shambler, that's going to come out as a 4/4. So really cool things with the Symbiosis as well. We do have 3 Castle Garenbrigs. We get tap it for 5, adding 6 mana. So, you know, just a nice little ramp there if we can get it going. And then 14 Forests. Not a lot of land in the deck, but the mana curve is light. This is as aggro of a mono green deck as you can get. You know, 2 Questing Beasts, a Gemrazer, and a single Vivien is not much. The majority of our deck is 3 drops, right? Some 1 drops, 2 drops, lots of 3 drops, and a couple 4 drops. And even Gemrazer is a 3 drop when we mutate it, right? So it shouldn't be any problem because we have so many MDFCs, right? You know, the Florahedron, the Ambush, the Mammoth. You know, there's a lot going on here for land, and not to mention the Symbiosis as well. So there may only appear to be 17 land, but we do have an additional 4, 8, 12, 14 lands. So that's like 28, 31 lands in the deck if you count them all that way. But again, this is finely tuned, winning games consistently, again, within the top 200 ranked in Mythic, you know, having a fun time while we're doing it. So if you guys found any value, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, support financially by joining our YouTube membership program, and receive exclusive content just for the supporters, which is really cool. Of course, the gem giveaways and everything's going on in the Discord, so check that out as well. Thank you again for your time and attention. I really appreciate you. Enjoy today's gameplay footage, and we'll catch you for the wrap-up thoughts in a few minutes. All right, you guys. You know, I don't think this hand's gonna work. There's not any land. This is better, but not great. We're gonna rely on the top deck here. And that's sad. So let's toss an Ambush. You know, hopefully we pick up a land, can play into our Mammoth. They're coming in tapped, which is actually relatively helpful for us. And we get a Florahedron, which is cool. That kind of solves the land issue for the Mammoth next turn. And we still get to hit for 1. Jingotha. What are they playing? Just ramp? It is ramp, yeah. Well, let's Mammoth it up. We should keep this for a fight effect, but that's fine. And, you know, I don't see a trade with the Cobra, so we'll take it. Rushfire Elemental's great. Double trigger on the wilds is also really good. Nice. You know, big hit from this elemental here. Into a Wanderer, interesting. I really like that land. What do they have for enchantments to trigger Constellation, though, is what I'm curious about. It's a decent hit, and we hold up our Preservers. That's all we can hope to do. They've got a full mitt, which is worrisome, right? All this landfall's a little bit abusive, right? It's okay though. I won't complain too hard yet. The retreat's, you know, gonna win the game. Nice. One of the best value engines we have available right now. I think we should take the trade, oddly enough, before it gets any stronger, because the retreat's just going to make it buff. So let's just take that out. Let's take the Wanderer. Whoa, why did we not attack? I was just spamming there. I guess we accidentally clicked past turn instead of attack. That was meant to be on the attack. What a play, hey? Skip your best attack phase. I lose advantage. Yeah, nice. Right? We're tough. Top mythic plays, ladies and gentlemen. You know, just because you're ready to spam the attack doesn't mean you should just, you know, smash your mouse button. If your hand-eye coordination is like mine, that's gonna be a mistake. Alright, they've got another Wanderer out, World Shaper. Hey! We get blessed again here. Whenever it attacks, you may mill 3 cards. When it dies, return all the cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Are you fucking serious? That's absolutely ridiculous. Is that a real card? World Shaper for 4. Everybody should be using that. That's incredible. I love that tech. Holy moly. Can you imagine if we didn't misclick and we got another good attack here? Oh my god, it's like, we have to take it out beforehand, or else it's just gonna have even more. We've got no exiles, so yikes. Yikes. Good game. I mean, what were we gonna do? You know what I mean? Just let them mill more cards and pull more stuff? Right? I don't think so, right? You know, we'll throw in the trade here, I guess. We're so hosed. The double block's unnecessary, but, you know, sure. Yeah, the misclick's really just about mind games. You know, we don't know what we're doing. That means they can't know what we're doing. Right? You know, 2 lands a turn, discard their hand. Whenever they play a permanent, draw 2 cards. Non-land permanent, that is, but... You know, they just had the retreat, which is so much value. They've got the wilds in play. They've got the passage in play. Ready to rip as well, so... This is a great demonstration of Jangotha Jank, as far as I'm concerned. Like, you know, to run Song of Creation, it's aggressive. Again, one of the better value engines that exist for relatively cheap, but there is a downside to that one. It's not like the Retreat where it's all upside. You know, you are having to discard with the Song of Creation and basically relying on a top deck to, you know, then help you draw. But, you know, Jangotha does help that as the companion. You always have access to it, so no blocks, good game. We don't have time to do this anymore. Let's get into another top-ranked Mythic match and see what kind of matchup we can find. Alright, you guys, it's Johnny Pan with Luris. That means it's the cycling deck. We seen this guy yesterday. You know, he's grinding that top Mythic rank consecutively, consistently. Top 300 is really good. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to get top 300. It's going to take a little time. And the guy's using a free-to-play deck too, which is just, you know, absolutely amazing. I hope we can force, you know, a chump block, right? Like a flash blocker to kill the Fox would be really, really cool. But, oh, man. I doubt it, because they can cycle is the thing. So let's pass really quick. It's like we don't have anything. Oh? They could double cycle here. And the Fox goes to 3. So this is sad. What we need to do is flash it in and then Primal Might it. Right? Because there's no way they don't have another cycle for 1. Yeah, so we're not chump blocking, but we are, you know, gonna play it. Preserver out. Garenbrig. Now, we could go Yorvo, but I think we just need to smash this Fox here. We want to pay 2, right? Take it to 4. Just dealing with it as efficiently as we can before it gets so strong. Like, we seen that Fox the other day. What was it, like an 11-11 before we found an answer to it? So, even though that takes us away from our game plan, whatever, that's fine. Their 3rd land. Here's a Rescuer, so they're gonna start making these tokens. Right? So if we can consistently attack, we're gonna be okay. Oh, and that hand's just gonna be just groovy. So we're gonna play the Beast just straight up without the 1/1. We're declining this, and then we're gonna Primal Might for 0. And we're taking out that Rescuer. And then the Fox can still hit. Trying to keep all of their engines out of play. You know what? If they lure us, whatever. Their hand should be dead by then. We're gonna be okay. We have a Great Henge, and then we can Yorvo. Drain the Stinger. I'm fine with that, actually. That's... The chip damage, you know, gets mitigated by the Henge, so... That's fine. I don't mind. Right? They're looking for their Flare. We know this. Engine play. Oh, we actually don't have enough. But we can Florahedron, though, for the draw. That's going to be good enough. Also the life gain. That also activates... oh, it doesn't. Shit. Because it gets a +1 on it. The Shambler is good to go, though. We'll see a chump blocker here with the 1/1, I'm sure. No way they Stinger block. They just take it. Okay. Worried about the Flare. I'm not gonna lie. We are worried about the Flare. Luris into hand? Sure. Okay. So this is going to be relatively decent. Yorvo comes in first because the Shambler puts another counter on it. We can decline this and see what we draw. Beast is good. Shambler in play. We can increase it by 1. So X is 1, auto pay. We draw a card. And now, you know, we can land in or keep this. Oh, we have 2 available. I didn't realize that Florahedron was still up as mana. Let's create the 1/1. Right. And then we're over for 10. Decent. I've been thinking about putting a little life gain in, but at the end of the day, just bash them. Just bash them. Right? The Great Henge is one of the best cards in the game right now, as far as I'm concerned. So good. Like, just dream come true. It is a great card. If they're targeting anything with a 1/1 on it, we also have Swarm Shambler in play, which creates 1/1s, and then those 1/1s will create insects for us, and the insects will actually click up Yorvo, which is pretty cool as well. So here comes Lurrus into the Fox. You know, they can't Lurrus and Flare, luckily for us, or Lurrus and Fox. They do need that white source. So that's going to be okay for now. We need to pull removal on Lurrus. That is not it. Put this big body in play. I say we just go for it, right? We just pulled the land, so it's a good thing we went for it. Not spamming the not attack button, we're spamming the attack button now. Alright. And I believe this should be relatively close to lethal. Good game. Perfect as well because the life gain there, right? So very cool. We're still kind of sitting around the top 200 pretty consistently. Oh my gosh, you guys, we matched them again. I feel bad. I feel bad. Hopefully they beat us here. You know what I mean? Get a win under this Cycles deck. It's a decent hand for us, yeah. Like, we've got a 1-drop, 2-drop, you know, our payoff spell and a little removal. Urgh. So, you know, the fox, I always want to call it the wolf because it's like, you know, it's too aggressive to be a fox. This thing is tough. You know how many matches they probably win just from cycling on a turn 1 fox? Right? It's like, oh, you didn't have immediate removal, you lose. And they were on the play this time too, so we're definitely in a very bad spot. We could sacrifice our Shambler for the kill. No, we couldn't. We could put it to 2. Damn, that's not good. All right, I think they're probably gonna win, but we're gonna try to get there. The boon. All right, so this box is tough. All right, T-U-F-F, double F's, baby. It's a 5/5. Ah! All right. This is still a match somehow. It's a little stronger than we thought it'd be. 6/6. Even Oh my god, like we play this, we've got 2, 4, 5, 6 to block, and it's... Oh, no, I didn't mean to... No! Alright, well, we may as well take the action now. I was just counting. We're so screwed, though. We've got this. No worries. All right. Drain the Stinger, you know, insult to injury. Good game, bro. Johnny Pan coming back. I was hoping maybe this would be our new, well, I guess it will be our rival now. Like, I'm kind of looking for a rival that can't compete, you know what I mean? Who I could just consistently beat down. That would be good for me. Johnny Pan, come on. Let me thrash you, brah. This is still a match somehow. We have 3. We could go to 6 and attack it. So you see how we just can't catch up to it. You know what I mean? Can't keep up to it. 4. What? Oh, 3, sorry. Don't want to. They win if they have Go for Blood. But maybe, just maybe, somehow we can race them. I don't know how. I'm sure we're just going to get flared in the face. Oh, what? Why did they use Go for Blood? They could have attacked the Shambler down. Oh, because it makes it insect. I see. Oh, never mind. I also see again. The true light of the flare to the face. Man, that is sexy. So this is like a really nice hand for us, except there's not land. I wish I could change the Preserver and a Shambler to lands, and then I would love this hand so much, but we can't run it. Keep this, and you know, we should be tossing the Henge and just trying to pull another, I think. It's sad, but at the end of the day, you know, we either need so much land or like a 5/5 to reduce the mana cost, so. Mono red, awesome. So hopefully we can, you know, get big huge on them, right? We do have a flash block next turn if there's not a second champion. Robber's really good, yeah. So we're gonna hit for 3 here. And they top deck from us. Oh, they can cast that Never. 7 drop. Nice. So we can preserve and then mutate. Or Yorvo probably, actually. Right, Yorvo Swarm Shambler against a red deck might be good. If they've got spells to slang. Which, you know, probably just they're cleaving. You know what I mean? That's what red's become now. Oh, they go for it now instead of later. Interesting. Yeah, so we get the insect, which we can still mutate onto, right? That's what's really cool about the Swarm Shambler, in my opinion, is, you know, it's a creature that you can mutate onto for very cheap, and if they remove it, you still get a creature to mutate onto, so I love the Swarm Shambler. All right, they take a land. They're gonna cast a Rimrock Knight, which is good. I mean, let's take the Robber, just so they lose access to a few cards at least anyways. And then, you know, just play our Yorvo and hopefully he's big, huge, right? We're still at 13 life. They need to start cleaving somehow. But, you know, the cleave's a similar situation as the, you know, the Henge, where it's, if you don't have the creatures in play, that, you know, it's going to take a while to get out. Annex is the worst case scenario for us, right? That's absolutely terrifying. But it is an enchantment, is it not? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna go on Yorvo because it's a red deck. And the counters will transfer over to him, so it's gonna be an 8/8. You know, classic big, huge creature with trample. And yeah, we're gonna go for it. Put him on the clock. Pull a land, play Vivien, start making 3/3 chumps. Right, that's gonna be really good for us if we can get there. You know, if not, we do have the surprise. Oh, uh-oh. You know, we'll trade with the 1/1 here. Let him hit for a bit. Not great. We do get those 3/3s that we were talking about, so that's absolutely amazing. Always go with reach.
I'd like you to meet my friend, Stompy.
I want to attack, kind of. I'm going for it. That's a 9/9. Woo! Down to 3. We're at 10. You know, we could die here. I don't know. Cleave Torbrand, he hits us for 6, 7, 8. Yeah, like if they cleave anything, we're dead. If that's an Ember Cleave, we're gonzo. It looks like it's not. Interesting. Alright, where's the Henge? We could use some life. Another land there as well. So it's not great. We could pull a Wonder off here.
I brought friends.
Let's go for that. Forget to put a Shambler in play.
Things are about to get out of hand for you.
And that's fun for me. That pushes, you know, Yorvo / our Gemrazer up by 2 clicks instead of 1 for the 3/3 token. And, you know, we get to shuffle our library, which puts another creature on top for us, which is really cool. So we're getting 3 pushes onto our Gemrazer / Yorvo. And we can drain the spare mana into our Preserver. Which is fun. It's really good value, right? And then we smash in for everything we have. Pretty sure that's just lethal. You know, not much of a mathematician, but we're not playing Harambe here, I don't think. I'm not entirely sure which card we're referring to. I don't think the blocks much matter. The 3/3 dies while Fervent Champion survives. So that's always good. Oh! Alright, we still get there though, right? They do get the kill on us, but you know, we're smashing so big and so heavy. You know, just chilling top 200 with this really cool mono green deck that really utilizes Swarm Shambler, Yorvo, and the Great Henge. Alright, I cannot even describe how risky this hand is, but how much it can potentially pay off. Now, this is a gentleman we faced and lost against, so we really want to get after it, right? And this was that weird Jengotha deck. Did we have a 2-drop? No. So it's like, let's get that in there, right? And I really just want to play this Henge on turn 4. That's the whole game plan here. Oh, this was that landfall deck. I understand. Right? So we can get both of our 1/1s out on turn 2 here. We'll play the Lovestruck Beast, and then we'll Henge. Easy. Lotus Cobra. Frig off, Randy. I love Yorvo, but it won't get the job done like we need it to. So we're going to play that later. I'll attack here. Kill your Cobra if I can. Doesn't look like it. We still have the 5/5 to defend. The Wanderer they get in play immediately as well. That's very, very good. All right. Paying life for this, which is awkward, but what's required of the sacrifice into the henge, which hopefully brings us lots and lots of good luck. We attack with the Lovestruck Beast, of course. Probably a block with the Hellhound, or they take it. Right to the Chappas. Well, that seems like an odd time to land in, doesn't it? Or they're just doing it on their end step so they can use that land next turn. See, and we can push up our Swarm Shambler here, make it a 2/2. Woo! And just like that, we get that comeback because they don't have that perfect drop, and we're holding a very good win rate in Mythic. Holding the top 200 without any problems. Alrighty, guys. We're winning games consistently, top 200, no big deal. Having fun while we're doing it. It's been tough times for your boy the last couple days. Ex-girlfriend moved on, so I'm down in the dumps. Trying to focus on work, right? Big shout out to everybody who's been hanging out with me in the Discord, on the Twitch stream and the YouTube comments, just helping me keep my mind off things, right? So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you found any value, please like the video, share the channel to all of your friends, and you can support financially by joining our YouTube membership program and receive exclusive content, by your boy. So again, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next.